Finally, somebody at the bar yelled, "Oh my God, all the cars down the parking lot are floating." And we were like, "What?" And everybody goes running to windows, and we're looking, and all the cars, the parking lot was just, it was water, and the cars were floating around in there. And we were all like, "Whoa." The people out at the bar wanted to sit at the bar. They didn't want to leave the bar. So by then,
you're still in the dining room.
We're still in the dining room. And by then, though, the water was up probably about 2 inches in the dining room. And Thelma came out of the kitchen. We still hadn't got our wings yet. And Thelma came out of the kitchen and she said, "I think we're all going to have to go upstairs." And we said, "Okay, but the people at the bar wouldn't leave the bar." We went to go upstairs, and I decided I looked in the door. There's one door at the dining room that was the water was starting to push it shut. And I thought, well, I'll just push that door open and prop it with a chair. That was my goal. So I went back across the room and grabbed the door, and thank God I grabbed it up high. Because when I grabbed that door and just went to push it open, the door towards 68 just blew open, and it was just like a tidal wave come rolling in, and it brought that water from my ankles clear up to my chest.
Like right now.
Just boom. It was that fast, and it was a tidal wave. Just came in, and it hit, and when it hit, it slammed the door shut. Well, I still had a hold of the door, so it caught 3 of my fingers, and I was trapped in the door, and it knocked me off my feet. So I was swinging, and the water was hitting it had such force. It was coming in, it would hit the wall right there, and it was curling. So it would take me under, and then I'd come back up. We never lost electricity because I knew to breathe, because I was stuck. I kept trying to pull my fingers out, and they were just trapped in this door. And I knew to breathe because when I came up, I could see the jukebox lights, and it was a circle, and the lights would flash the whole way around the circle, and I could see the lights. So I knew to get a breath of air because I knew I was going back under, and it just kept. And finally, Debbie McNaughton turned around, and she saw what was going on. So she came over and got me stood back up on my feet, but I still couldn't get out of this door. Well, at that point, the people out at the bar decided they needed to get upstairs, and they had to come through the dining room to get up the stairs. So they started. I could see Bob Searage and Al Gilmore and Jack Hiles, and they were hitting the door with their shoulders, trying to knock the door open.
So you could get your fingers out.
So they could get upstairs.
Oh.
They didn't even know my fingers were in there. They had no clue I was there. They were pounding because they needed to get that door open to get up across the room to get up the stairs. So they, I guess I assume the doors out in the bar blew open too. But they finally hit the door hard enough that it jarred it open enough I could get my fingers out. And I went upstairs, and they came right behind me. They finally got the door open.